What's up? Kevin Davis here, bringing you another quick review. This is a personal size large print CSB. It is of their 2020 text, and this is the leather soft. It feels a little bit different, obviously, than leather, but I do want you to see how it compares to a real genuine leather. So here is my NASB, which is genuine black leather. You can see, obviously, the grain difference, but you can hardly really tell looking at it, really, if you look at that. I mean, this is the leather soft. Here is the genuine leather. Now, like I said, it feels different, but that leather soft, I mean, even, I guess the way that you can tell the difference is the leather soft only has one indent, so they're not doing hubs anymore, or ribs, they're kind of indenting. And there's two here, and this could also just be a differentiation to say this is NASB and this is CSB. But really good gold paper edging. Both have one ribbon, and honestly, this feels like it's going to be durable for a while. This is the LeatherTouch. Opens rather flat. Well, obviously, if you start getting back to the front, it's gonna change. But even then, here's Judges. So, anyways, a few things I want you to notice. This is the personal size large print. This is the 2020 text. We can see that right here, CSB Text Edition 2020. Here are all the ISBNs, and I'm assuming that these must be for the 2020 text. I did have the brown Celtic LeatherTouch before, but they do have brown genuine leather. Looks like, as of right now, unless if I'm missing it, and you can let me know, they don't seem to have a black genuine leather for the personal size yet, at least in this list of ISBNs. Here's what it has at the back. Where to turn. Topical concordance. Nothing else besides that. A few things I want you to notice. Reluctantly, I have to admit, I'm becoming to be very picky with my Bibles, which is why I have a personal size, because I do like that size. Not a big fan of the serif font. 2 columns, bold-faced on the titles of stories. Chapters are drop caps, if you want to call it that. I pointed this out in the NASB. This is kind of new. It's chapter numbers as opposed to chapter and verse. Middle of the page for the page numbers. While I do like this font somewhat, I don't know, I just feel like the chapter and the book, the title headings, you know what, I would have preferred it, and actually I'm going to compare it at the end here with another Bible I have, but I would have preferred if this was just a bold font of whatever that font is. I believe this is red letter, yep, and the red is a really light. Even the camera is making this lighter than it really is. From where I'm standing, this table's probably 3 feet high, and I'm 6 feet. Looks really light to me already. It's kind of faded. So, for example, I am a big fan of the personal size large print NASB genuine leather. Love the font. The font is a little bit bolder. Plus, they keep a more serif font. Sorry, did I say serif? This is a sans serif font. This is a serif font. And I'm a little bit, I like the font for the book titles on this. This does look a slightly darker red. Now, this is the NASB from Holman. But honestly, what I told my friend today is, out of the personal size Bibles that I have, as for CSB, I like their 2017 single column. The reason I got this one is because it's 2020 text, but I told my friend, I might just go back to this because I like the fonts better. The titles of the book, the titles of the chapter and stories are the same kind of serif font. And I think this is probably a slightly different font from this Bible. I think it is, maybe very little. But I just like this layout more, single column, and as far as I know, I believe Holman is going to be releasing a personal size single column in their handcrafted lineup next year, but right now they don't have this exact edition, personal size single column, in the 2020 text. And like I said, I just like this more. It's the same size. They're both personal size. But as far as it being aesthetically pleasing, I like this cover, the black and brown cover, and I just like the font. And is this red letter? I probably so, but let me check. Nope, it's not. So, and I'm not a big red letter fan. I'm not going to get into the arguments for that. I just have a preference. It's not really a theological one, but this one is winning for me. And I might just keep this at my church and preach out of it simply because it's 2020 text. But as for something aesthetically pleasing and looking at, the single column 2017 text does it for me. So that's my quick comparison. If you want to buy this one, if you're like Kevin, I'm with you. How do I get my hands on that one? You're going to find them probably cheapest on eBay. I'll give you a look at the ISBN. Looks like this one came in brown genuine leather as well. But this was the 2017 text edition. Not too big of differences. I'll put it on the show notes if you want to see the differences between the CSB 2017 and the CSB 2020 text. But, maybe you're not like me. You're like, I could care less about fonts. That looks like a great Bible, great size. Well, there you go. One other thing to note, in the 2020 personal size large print, their verse references, cross references, are at the end of verses, as opposed to the NASB, which I like how they did it in the NASB, just a big chunk down here. But I gotta say, if I'm rating Bibles from Holman between these three, my first is actually probably going to be this. If I could have the CSB and the NASB style, that would be great. And I'm talking fonts, first editions down here. This is a great Bible. I'm going to hold on to this. Even if I don't adopt the NASB 2020 for good, I'm going to never sell this Bible. Between the two CSBs, single column, personal size, I like that. Now, I do know that there is a single column wide margin, and I've had that for literally about 5 minutes before I sold it. I literally took it out of the package, felt it, too big, way too big, sold it. So, personal size, single column, right now only available in 2017 text. I'm just keeping this for the 2020 text. In fact, I may even set it out in my church, because my church, I leave CSBs around in my church for people who need them. I feel like this just came short. Kevin, what can make this better? Probably 2 ribbons, a consistent font throughout, and a font that looks more like this, especially with the subheadings of titles, and even verse references if you need them down here in the bottom, like the NASB. That's what would have made this better for me. But you might think differently. That's fine. It all comes down to preferences. CSB is a great translation, so this will beat NLT any day or any other translation. But as far as aesthetically pleasing, I think I'm going to go back to this. Thanks for watching.